Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
So, my role here is to thank everyone for coming today and making this possible. And this really is the celebration of community spirit and looking at the room and looking at the speeches, the fantastic speeches and also the energetic performances. This reminds me of why we started this project 8 years ago. I still remember the conversation my Madam Mayor, Tony Let's, Obi and myself had to set up the charity, and the process wasn't that easy to register itself with the Charity Commission, but then here we are 8 years on and we'll be celebrating our 8th anniversary this year, and thank you so much everyone for making this possible. And I just wanted to go through some of the names and thank them personally, because we heard a little bit about the charity. I will touch on the work of the charity and the program, what this program will include later on. But then I just wanted to thank some of those people who are here supporting this mission and making this event a great success. And first of all, the host, Javel. Isn't she amazing? Yeah. So I first met Javel a couple of years ago when I started the Dementia Cafe at Cllr Dr Cafe, and I was speaking to Croydon Council to bring in some young people to support and volunteer at that cafe, and Javel was one of those young people, and every single month you will see her at Cllr Dr Cafe. So rain or shine, she'll be there. Thank you so much. Today I asked her to host this event and she said yes, and she's happy to do it, and here she is. Thank you for taking through the program, and also you gracefully took us through the program, and thank you so much for that. And I just wanted to also thank the Civic Mayor of Croydon, Councillor Richard Chatterjee. Thank you so much. And I still remember at the mayor making this year, you even mentioned the charity and also your visit to our Dementia Cafe in Houston. I really appreciate all the support you are already providing to the charity, and we will be working together, and you will get invited to a number of our events, sorry, but you have to be there to support us. Really appreciate all your support, and to the mayors as well. Unfortunately, she can't be here. And the Executive Mayor of Croydon, Jason Perry, unfortunately he had to leave due to another commitment, but again, another great supporter of the charity. Every event we organize in Croydon, he will always be there providing his support, and his staff as well. Really grateful to Jason. Sarah, we never met, and I was looking at, since it is still holiday period, number of people were away, and I was listing the speakers, and you were definitely on the top of the list, and then I was like, I don't know whether Sarah will come all the way to Croydon, but let me just try. And I tried, and you responded last week, and I was just jumping up and down, and my husband was like, what's going on? And I said, Sarah, I agreed to come. So I was really grateful that you are here. And as we heard from Andrew, the process wasn't that easy. And I wasn't quite sure whether we were going to get it, and myself and Madam Mayor, we thought about, when we saw this funding applications, I was like, I don't know whether I'm going to get it because it's a mental health charity, whether we can be good related to psychosis, but then we tried, and thanks to everyone who been part of the charity for their help and support in that process, because again that wasn't easy. We tried to understand what kind of support we can provide, like Andrew said, and I didn't know a second or third. Wow, that's amazing. So the interview was really tough, lots of questions, and the in-person interview we had at Croydon Methodist Church, again we invited the team from Maudsley Charity, lots of questions, but we had passion, and that's what we have shown. And also we had the diversity within the charity, and we showed that. And here we are. Thank you, Sarah. So, Dr. Sri, And so we met she was introduced to me by Dr. Subodh Dev. I have to mention Dr. Subodh. Dr. Subodh and I worked on a number of projects, and I wish Jason was here, because as a cabinet member, I was the mayor of Croydon some years ago, and I was also cabinet member for economy and jobs for 4 years, between 2018 to 2022. And during that period, as a cabinet member, I brought London South Bank University to Croydon, and one of my ambitions was to bring a medical university to Croydon. And Dr. Geraldine Strategy, so some of you in this room know her, and she introduced me to Dr. Subodh Dev, because Subodh has introduced in a broad medical university up in the north, and she said, once you have the conversation with Subodh, we had the meeting, we had a number of meetings, couple of meetings, and a lot of conversations, and we were planning to do it, but then obviously because of the financial pressures that didn't happen. But then that was in the list of things to do as a cabinet member. But then that relationship and friendship stayed, and Subodh was one of the speakers at the 7th anniversary celebration at House of Lords last year, and he's a good friend of mine. And when I was thinking about this project, and I thought, okay, let me just ask Subodh if he can connect me. And that was it. He connected me with Dr. Manju, yourself, and you asked me to send details, because it seems like they have huge network, and it seems like I'm sorted for the whole 18 months for the project, because the connection some of these people I mentioned have is amazing. So the plan is to, and Sri and I talked again to look at what kind of projects we can do in Croydon. And one of them is mental health hour, and what that will do is we will take psychiatrists to different communities across Croydon. So the different faith groups, the gurudwaras, the temples, the mosques, and also refugee centres across Croydon, across these 18 months, and with the psychiatrists, and deliver some sessions for awareness, and also help with early diagnosis and treatment. So that is what we are planning to do, and looking forward to those sessions. And also we'll be recording those sessions as well, so that we can post it and people can listen to it at later stage. And Andrew, my God, so Dr. Andrew Brown, he's a really good friend of mine. He's like my brother, can I say that? I don't know, yeah. So thank you. And so we met through my work in Croydon, and like he said, he told me, don't call me before 9 o'clock, but he knows every time I call Andrew, it will be before 9 o'clock, because I know after 9 o'clock I won't be able to get hold of him because of his busy schedule. So he'll be like, oh Manju, I'm just about to leave home to work. I'm just like, Andrew, 5 minutes, let me just ask you this advice. And you're always on the other side of the phone when I need you, always, always. Never disappointed me. And I know that friendship and relationship and that family connection is going to continue, and I still remember, and I have used what you said at previous speeches, in my speeches as well, about the family support you need. People often ask me about the work-life balance, and I often talk about the support I get from my husband and the boys, and you always, and one of your speeches you mentioned, if you have that person in your life, because during daytime we have, so much happens, and also we go through a lot of stress and anxiety ourselves, and when you go home, when you have that person in your life who you can talk to about the daily life and the difficulties you had in that day, and that's a blessing. That's what you said in a speech, and that's my husband for me. So thank you. And Hilary, thank you for being here. I know Matthew would love to be here, but then obviously he's away. And but Matthew promised me, I'm going to find you a speaker for sure, representing Croydon NHS Trust, and you are here. And what an amazing experience you have, and also especially in terms of integrated care, integrating health and social care. I'm looking forward to working with you and make use of your expertise for this project and wider projects for the charity. And I just wanted to also thank the performers. We had seen two energetic and amazing performances, Ananya, Anu, and Srimanth, Sriraj. And thank you for being here and being part of this amazing project. And you're going to be part of the charity now. That's it. You can't get away from us. That's it. So thank you so much. And their family members are also here, and they took the time after their workplace to be here to make sure that those young people perform. Thank you. Give them a round of applause. And the charity family. What do I do without my Madam Mayor Tony Letts? So she is everything to me. She's the strength of the charity. She's the background. She's the backbone of the charity. She's everything to me. And Madam Mayor always say that she's like my mother. She is. And some of you know this. I lost my mom over 30 years ago when I was in India, and it's still heartbreaking, as you can imagine. So, but then obviously I came here and I met a number of wonderful people who are also in this room. But then Madam Mayor is like my mother, and thank you for the love and support, for being there for everything, Madam Mayor. And anything I wanted to discuss, I can call her anytime. You can visit her house anytime, and that kind of relationship we have. Thank you, Madam Mayor, for everything. And just give Madam Mayor. I also want to.
I do turn her off. Okay.
Thank you. Mothers do that. So thank you. So I also wanted to thank some of the charity family. Janet is here. Fiona, you came into the family quite recently, but thank you so much for all your support. And we have Vinita, Shamini was there, and Kitty, Bronwyn. I hope I haven't missed anyone from the charity family. So thank you so much for all the support. Mark from the care home is also here as well. So thank you. So you're all part of, and each and every one of you are part of the charity family, and that's why you're here. During holidays, you took your time out and being here, and that means a lot to me and the charity, and really appreciate all of you being here. And I also wanted to briefly touch on, I mentioned about the visits the charity is planning to do across the borough, and also some of the activities will be at our 3 dementia cafes in Croydon. We have one in Coulston, at Coulston Methodist Church, the second cafe at Cllr Dr Cafe in central Croydon, and the third one here at St. Barnabas Worship Centre. And then we're starting the 4th Dementia Cafe at Coulston Temple. That's going to be the launch will be on the 12th of September. And if any of you are here, want to attend that launch, please let me know, then I can put the name down. The spaces are limited again because it's not a huge space, and we're going to have some sessions there. And also we have a coffee with counsellor session at West Croydon Methodist Church. And we started with a mental health counsellor who came and provided support to refugees, asylum seekers and the homeless people, because within that community, the mental health and psychosis and severe and enduring mental health is a huge issue. But then those people asked us, because we do regular surveys and conversation feedback, and then they told us they want housing support, employment support, bereavement support, legal support, all those support they needed. And then we brought all those into that space, and we became like a hub. And that's the hub Maudsley Charity came to talk to us as part of their interview process. And an amazing difference we are making. And we have one person who came every single month to that session because she's not getting the support outside, and she's there because she knows she can talk to the counsellor. But then because of the lack of funding, we couldn't provide regular counselling to those individuals. But then with this support, so she'll be one of those guests who will be getting the support through living well with psychosis. And I mentioned about the mental health hour, community conversation with experts that will be happening. So those are the events that we already planned. But then there will also be some culturally appropriate sessions which we're going to planning to organize as part of the 4 dementia cafes and coffee with counsellor sessions. In addition to that, our counsellors also provide counselling for adults and young people across in different parts. Again, funding was a huge issue, and funding is not that easy as you can imagine. And I also wanted to briefly talk about the funding issues we always face in charities, and like Andrew and other charities in this room, we all know ARCC was here as well, so we all know the difficulties we face with funding. And I was in India for 3 weeks holiday towards the end of July and August, and we are working very closely with some of the universities on research projects, and one of them is the research on dementia. And we had some colleagues who came from Loughborough University to visit us at the Dementia Cafe at Cllr. And then we were having the conversation, and they about holidays, and they said, "Oh, have a wonderful holiday, and we will see you in 3 weeks, and we can talk about the next projects." And I told her, "I'm going to be applying for 2 funding while I'm away on holiday." And she said, "Oh, try not to, because you need that break." But because of the deadline, I couldn't. So, which I did. I did apply for 2, submitted 2 applications while I was away. I came back and I did a post. I'm a big fan of social media, some of you know. And I talked about, I went to this Ayurvedic center for a treatment in the sense massage. Me and my husband, we had a lovely time because the boys were away. And then we went for 5 days to this Ayurvedic retreat, they call it, and away from everything is amazing. And so I talked about that experience because they wanted me to promote the center. Talked about the experience in the social media post, saying I had a wonderful time, this and that. And then I met the person from Loughborough University yesterday, and she said, "I saw your post, Manju, and I was going to comment saying, but what about the funding application you submitted from there?" So you didn't mention, you already mentioned about the wonderful time you had, but that was absolutely right. From that Ayurvedic retreat, I did submit that 2 applications. So it is tough, and and some funders like Mostly Charity and others, and they are doing a wonderful job to support smaller charities like ourselves. But keep going and keep supporting us, and looking forward to working with all of you in this room, and also the people who couldn't be here because of holidays. But then, thank you so much for coming. Really, really appreciate all your love and support. And let's keep going. Thank you.
Amen.